Welcome into Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We have quite the show for you today. Just in terms, y'all just are not even going to believe this. 2:00 hour, we're going to cover a lot of news, like a lot of in case you missed it, because Republicans apparently like to do dumb things after dark. At 3:00, we have an interview with a really interesting person, a writer who has a ministry, who was also with Salem Media for 10 years. This is going to be fantastic, talking about Nigeria and what's happening in Minneapolis.
He's from Minnesota,
He
right?
is from Minnesota. Also, you guys, Michelle Tafoya running. I love her. 3:30, we have JP on sports. 4:30, are we allowed to say who we have at 4:30?
100%.
Girl, who do we have at 4:30?
We have Mo Brooks coming on, who threw us all for a loop today. What? Literally last week came out, I'm not running. I enjoy spending time with my family. Things change quickly. So Mo Brooks will be with us.
And then we'll finish the day with Would You Rather. Okay, so that is quite the Friday, and we're so happy to have a Friday with y'all. We look forward to your texts. There's a lot going on, and we're basically going to just, well, we can't, never mind. We're going to just get right to it. Okay?
Let's do it.
Right now, there is something I do want to say that is happening in Washington, D.C., and that's the March for Life. My age coincides with how long Roe v. Wade has been a thing. We have a pro-life president and vice president. J.D. Vance spoke at this event. But on this day, people that we follow, like Meg Basham, who was the product of an unplanned pregnancy. Her mother was 17. And Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, also unplanned pregnancy. His mother was 17. And my birth mom was also 17 and hid my pregnancy throughout her senior year of high school. But I'm here. And my siblings are also adopted. And on this March for Life, very cold day in January in Washington, D.C., just a shout out to all moms and birth moms who rolled with it and made the very best of completely unexpected and unplanned circumstances. Because if it weren't for you, I would not be here today. None of us would. So just wanted to have a shout out and say thank you, because every day is a gift. And as a nation, like J.D. Vance says, we show what we care about by the way that we treat our babies. And as J.D. said, discarding our children and treating them as trash is not what we want to be about. Now, to all the mothers right now who are listening and think, because 43% of all women have had interaction with abortion, and you did so because you thought there were no other choices and options, there are so many resources for you if you still carry that burden and haven't found a group. There's so much in the pro-life community for women like you who felt forced and live with that regret all day, every day. There is healing. There is forgiveness. But there's also the powerful ability to tell your story so that other people don't do that same thing. So we think of you as well. But today, we want to thank moms and birth moms for choosing life. We are very grateful. So there you go.
Not much else to add to that. That was perfect.
And scene.
Let's see. Now, in other news, you want to talk about what Republicans did in D.C. last night?
Yeah. Republicans after dark. Were you drinking at dinner?
They do. And on the floor.
I mean, they do. You're right, Allison. There's so much we learned.
Makes
Okay,
it really exciting.
guys, remember how we talked about that? Well, this is the day before. Yeah, that little itty bitty story about kill switches in Germany and Toyota products, and how the Germans decided you can't have a switch in your car. You can't turn your car on, and it's really cold. And that just turned into a weird accent. And I apologize. And that felt far away because that's Germany. Well, I'd like you to know that 57 Republicans voted with Dems to keep the kill switch in your car so that whoever it is that has the kill switch access can shut your car off for any reason they like. But more than that, Allison Sinclair,
Ma'am,
something else hideous happened.
let me stop and say no one from Alabama voted to keep the kill switch funding.
Thank you.
I just, worth noting.
But what
Proceed.
did they do? What did these Republicans do?
I have no idea because I checked out last night. So you're going to tell me.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell all y'all. And when I tell y'all, we need to figure out who's going to primary some of these cats. Because we had 3 Republicans, 76 in total, voted for earmarks to keep gender mutilation a thing, late-term abortions, and DEI, among others. 76 Republicans, 3 of them are from Alabama.
Okay.
3.
What was this bill or what was this?
Let me go to it.
And everybody be thinking, we're going to play the name game. Who are the 3 from Alabama?
Okay, here we go. So it was 76 House GOP reps joined all Dems to block Amendment number 2 on HR 7148, which that means there are 7,148 bills that really just shouldn't be there. We maybe need 10, which will now allow for the funding of Senate earmarks for abortions. So save it if you're telling me you're pro-life on this March for Life Friday. Save it because you're a liar. Gender mutilation surgeries on minors, DEI programs, and partisan pork projects.
Can I click that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
This is great because in this tweet, he says, we are way past the point of taxation without representation. And I say that often, and I wonder when we're going to get there. But here we go. Let's see. Oh, top of the list, alphabetical order. Who's at the top of the list of the 76 rhinos that need to be primaried?
JP?
Is it Robert Adderholt?
It is the captain himself, Robert Adderholt. Haven't we talked about him this week? Didn't he vote to fund Ned?
He did.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And he also voted to keep USAID. So
Biscuit.
Okay. Who else from Alabama? Surely.
Hey, Robert Adderholt, come on and defend yourself. If there's a good reason. Again, hey, maybe we're missing something.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
But
who
so far,
doesn't want to keep earmarks in for gender mutilation or abortion or DEI or pork projects? I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
all right, what? Oh, okay, hold on. Let's
Yes,
keep
ma'am.
going.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking for any other even outside that would surprise me.
There's no, well,
Let's see. Nick LaLota, the Max Miller, the
oh, look at that. Look
there
at
we go.
that. All right. Okay.
Mike Rogers. Yep.
Hmm.
I guess he's into child mutilation. I don't know.
What about
But it's-
Elise Stefanik? What is she doing? Stefanik. What? But Mike Rogers,
What? Okay. I use this example often, and Mo Brooks is coming on. Sometimes there's something in the bill that you want. No, there's no excuse for this. Never mind. There's no excuse for this. And the last name.
Oh, look. What a shock. Dale Strong.
Now, Dale and Rogers both voted for Ned as well, right?
Yep.
So now they're voting for DEI, child mutilation, and what was the other one?
Abortion
DEI programs, abortions.
and other pork projects.
I don't know. I mean, at some point, you just have to call it as it is. You know what? We're going to look up all of our delegation in the Senate and the House their Liberty scores during the
Aha.
break.
I could probably tell off the top of my
Oh,
head.
you're
Let
a
me-
genius. Let's do it.
Because there's a trend here. Now, Gary Palmer, he's come so far. He has been solid recently. Barry Moore, always solid on
Yep.
these votes.
Yep.
I mean, Terry Sewell and Shamari Figures, we know where they're going to land. Do you have it pulled up, JP?
I do. Let me get it's giving me all time instead of current. Let me pull up the current
Well,
real quick.
why don't we go to break and we'll do it on the other side?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
We're
that
gonna play
sound
the
good?
guessing game. Y'all can guess what they are.
Oh no,
Ooh,
because then
yes. Let's do it.
that's scary.
We'll talk about it.
Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP, having a Friday, getting right to it. So during the break, we looked up the scores because these Republicans, and I think we need to find a new name, voted to do some hideous things or were okay with earmarks for certain things in a bill that they joined Democrats to vote with. They voted with them last night. 76 Republicans voted with all the Democrats last night to fund Senate earmarks for abortions, gender mutilation surgeries on minors, DEI programs, and partisan pork projects. And so what Allison and JP decided to do was look up these particular Republicans, or maybe all of the Republicans from Alabama, and find out their score given to them by the Heritage Foundation on how Republican they really are. Is that essentially
it's
fair?
their votes. They score each of their votes according to how much they are preserving conservative Republican Christian principles. And, it will average all the votes across the board. And I think you said Heritage does it for one session, so it's not their all time.
Yeah, it's not their lifetime. They do it with each session. I was going to do the Liberty score, but it's not updated. They don't even have Dale Strong or Katie Britt listed in there. So the most
That's
updated
weird.
one we could do right now is probably the best one is Heritage Action's conservative scorecard for this past session since this current one. Yeah, it's not been much.
All right.
So we're going to go based off of last session and the scorecards. We're just going to go in alphabetical order. Do y'all want to do the guessing game?
Sure.
Okay. Robert Adderholt first.
His score.
His score.
78.
That's what I was going to say.
Well, we okay.
84.
62.
Oh,
Robert Adderholt
What?
has a 62% score from the Heritage Foundation.
Dudes, we've got to put a board on the side.
okay. What
Biscuit
are the
board and scorecard.
what
Okay.
are the criteria? Because some won't. Does it?
Basically, on each bill, Heritage,
I know. So they do every single bill.
right.
No
and,
matter. Okay.
and Heritage has a Heritage position on what they think the conservative vote is.
Okay,
And then
okay.
they base it off of,
Some scorecards just do certain bills that relate to certain things. I couldn't remember. Okay. All right. So here we go.
All right.
62. I'm writing down.
Next,
Okay.
Katie Britt,
Oh, 62.
80.
64.
Oh dear.
Barry Moore,
97.
95.
95. Barry Moore is at 95%. Next, Gary Palmer,
96.
What?
Okay, I'm just kidding. 84. I change. 84.
No. She said 96.
No.
That's what she said.
No. I'm taking it back. You got to retract something yesterday.
Okay. Take it back.
84.
86.
right between 85.
All right.
Split down the middle. Okay, next, Mike Rogers.
Oh, Lord. 32. He filled out that class.
I'm 59.
62.
I almost said I'm putting him. I bet he and Adderholt vote the exact same.
Pretty much, yeah.
So they're owned by the same people.
Cute.
Okay, well, she's a Democrat, but we'll just do it for fun. What do you think Terry Sewell's is?
32.
You know what's funny? I'm going to answer, but I bet there are Democrats that beat these Republicans. 21.
5.
5. Okay.
All right, next,
Sorry.
Dale Strong.
70.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit better. 68.
77.
Okay.
Okay, it's better than I thought.
All right, and then last but not least, Tommy Tuberville.
94.
89.
89 for Senator Tuberville.
Okay.
So let me look up because, okay. So I actually was incorrect. So they do specific issues for these. The Heritage Action identifies upcoming legislative fights, outlines the conservative policy positions and key votes. So they are a bit selective. It's not just blanket every every bill. I'm not seeing how they pick the bills, but they just say that they go in and identify key policy positions with the Heritage Foundation. Key votes encompass the full spectrum of conservatism, policies large and small.
So leading the way, we have Barry Moore. This is why, Barry Moore is a solid conservative, and I hate to lose him in the House because for some of them, he pulls everybody right.
Yes.
And
He does
it's
such a good
turning
job.
out to be Gary Palmer, who used to be a little squishy, but he's really come along. But I hate to lose Barry in the House because I think he does a good job there. Tuberville with a solid 89 compared to Katie Britt's 64. That's a little shocking.
Huh.
I don't think Katie is very strong on the financial side. I think she votes to fund a lot of things. Let me actually,
It's like
what? Let me go.
more socially
Typing
conservative.
Cat, tell us.
You want me to pull up the ones that she got dinged on the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You can keep reading while I'm pulling it up.
Okay. Well, this is fascinating though, because for people at home or who like to geek out like we do, this is what we mean when there's a scorecard, which is built-in accountability, which who loves that? But it's something that has to be done. And so we're thankful for these numbers because you can't, they're just numbers.
Yeah.
And the numbers don't have feelings. It's just numbers that tell us how our leaders do. And in some cases, they don't do really well.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying real quick, the ones that Heritage dinged Katie Britt for was the Emergency National Security Supplemental Appropriations Act, also the Durbin-Kramer Amendment to Reforming Intelligence and Securing America Act.
I remember that one.
The second fiscal year 24 6 bill minibus, and then I'm seeing another 6 bill minibus. National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year. So it's all financials and appropriations.
Yeah, interesting.
Social conservative, maybe more liberal fiscally. We need to get API. They do one for the state legislature. And I just remember the last one I looked at, there were so many Democrats that scored better than Republicans.
Yes, we got to do that.
We'll get
It's a
that
good
from
idea.
Stephanie. Okay, we'll be back with the news.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. Already into it, thick into it on a Friday. So much so that y'all are already offering your thoughts. And so we're going to take those now before we jump into some other Alabama news, which will also get it a little frothy in here. You know, it's a perfect day for a cup of coffee. It's going to be cold this weekend. Allison bought us a frother. We haven't used that this week.
I think it's a good time.
I think it's probably the time today. Anywho, JP, what do we got?
Well, first off, 8, 3, 3,
Nap.
6, 8, 7.
Okay, now you're just wasting our time.
4448 is
Thank
the text line number. Brad from Crimestone County says, here in Alabama District 5 for several years, we had Mo Brooks, whom I still have not forgiven for voting to give money to Ukraine, but he was a whole lot better than, quote, fail strong is what he calls him.
Dang.
Ooh.
Brad from Crimestone endorsed that one. Scott from Huntsville, he says, okay, so he's actually providing some good information here. He says, I'm calling these rhinos offices right now. And so he called Dale Strong's office. He says, Dale Strong's office told me that there was a provision for funding for world access to healthcare or something like that. No excuse for this, though.
I'm sorry.
You want to go first?
No, you go.
That's exactly what I was afraid of. And that's what I was talking about with Mo Brooks, you know, who voted against the NDAA because he didn't want to send our daughters to war and he didn't want to fund red flag laws. At some point, you have to draw a line in the sand. And for conservatives, this is the sand line. I don't care.
So could you please repeat what he said he didn't want to lose access to?
World funding for world access to healthcare.
And it's our responsibility to provide healthcare to the world?
What? We just got ourselves out of the World Health Organization. What world access is he talking about? That's nonsense.
What?
It's nonsense.
He knows he done screwed up.
Daddy done did it.
Bigly.
Come on,
Huge.
man.
Do y'all have the name of this bill?
I did, but now we're looking at something else about skunks. Please hold.
Hold on. Let me. Okay, so let's see.
I think it was like SB 7148.
Yep. Nope. It was in the House.
Oh, excuse me.
So
HB 7148.
yeah, that was it.
HR 7148. You
House
said?
resolution.
Or 7198.
Yes. Okay. I was
48.
close. Could we have a moment though that I knew it started with 7?
Where did
Okay.
it go?
It's on there.
So if this is the right, I just want to look through the bill
I think I
itself
saved it.
and see what is.
HR 7148, amendment number 2.
Okay, well, I'm going to do this during the break, so we'll
Yeah.
do this right now. Mike from Florence says, thank God my ex-wife only suggested abortion and didn't insist on it or get one without my knowledge. Says she carried my son for 9 months. I kept him, raised him from there. He's 39 now and rewarded me with 4 grandchildren. It's screwed up that couples have legal rights to fight over the house and car, but men have no rights to children before they are born.
Preach it.
God bless Mike.
That's absolutely right. I did a lot of speaking back in the day. I
Wow.
was thankful to have the opportunity to do so. But that was something that came up frequently, is that men were not in the loop when the women that they had been with had chosen abortion. Fathers were silent
Wow.
in the issue. And that's something that must change, because last I checked, it still takes 2 people.
What's the opposite of a biscuit? Oh, we used to give out the ram.
What is the opposite of a biscuit? Like, what's our favorite thing then? If
know.
it's not a biscuit,
Mike
is it?
gets it. I don't know.
I don't know, but bless you.
One last text here. We got Scott from Athens that said, just breaking news, Strong, Adderholt, and Rogers must go. I hope they repent before they are called to meet the Lord after voting to fund gender mutilation again. Utterly disgusting.
Yeah, that one.
Don't really have much more to say except everybody heard that, and I would agree. I mean, it's unacceptable. And I don't care if you're captured. I don't care if you're compromised. I don't care. You need to free yourself, or you just got to go on.
What name can we give them, even though they have an R by their name? Guys, we need to invent it right now for people like that who repeatedly vote with the Democrats and against anything that is sane or that's for the people, like being alive and not mutilating children. What can we call them? legally on the air.
I like Kino instead of Rhino. Conservative in name only.
Oh, that's quick. That was quick.
We'll think about it.
Okay.
Nothing that comes to mind is appropriate over
I
the
know.
airwaves.
Nothing. I got nothing right now. I wish that it weren't Friday, and I wish that qualifying wasn't over in a little while.
It's over at 5. If anybody wants to run against Adderholt, Strong, or Rogers, you can get down to Algop headquarters in Hoover before 5 o'clock, and you too can run for office.
I mean, you can even make it in from Huntsville, y'all. All right, you're an hour and 45.
If you leave now.
If you leave
right
now,
I'll pay your $50 qualify. That might be illegal. I don't know. But
we have people that will help you if you choose to decide. But this is absolutely unacceptable that people from Alabama thought it was okay to rationalize their way into agreeing with Democrats, even if these things were just earmarks for clinics and your little buddy in Virginia needed it. It's still not okay. You're still responsible for the vote you just cast.
I don't even think it's Virginia.
I know. I just threw it out there.
Healthcare.
You know, like I said, Bill, in my reel that's going out today, or
Yeah.
Bob. I don't know where these earmarks are from or what buddy you voted for so that they could get what they needed. You're still responsible. So,
Well, do y'all want some interesting Alabama news?
yes, please.
Yes.
In case you missed it, Chairman of the Republican Party, John Wall, hasn't even qualified, hasn't even announced he's running for lieutenant governor, but he got an endorsement from President Trump last night.
He did?
Yes. So alongside, finally, President Trump endorsed Tommy Tuberville, which, we all knew was coming. I don't think he's endorsing Doug Jones or who's the other cat? Jamel Jermaine.
Yeah.
Jamel Jermaine Brown.
Yeah.
Which I'm
JJ
getting on
Brown?
the show.
Pastor.
Pastor JJ Brown.
So let me find what Trump said about John Wall. I guess he's going to have to step down. He's the chairman of the Republican Party. I don't think he can serve in both capacities.
Who would we get to replace John? He's good at that job, but still, I'd be happy.
Joan Reynolds, who's the vice chair, will now be.
So it's just that simple.
Yeah.
Those were rules I didn't pay attention to when I was on the state executive committee. I'll just admit it right here and now. I didn't know that. Okay.
Trump said, I am hearing that Alabama GOP chairman John Wall, a true MAGA warrior and America First patriot, is considering launching his campaign for lieutenant governor, and I hope he does. John has been with us from the very beginning and has been key to many of our Republican victories in the great state of Alabama, a state that I won with the highest vote in Alabama history, including my historic wins in 2016, 2020, and 2024. As your next lieutenant governor, John would fight tirelessly to grow the economy, cut taxes and regulations, promote Made in the USA, and support our farmers, secure our borders, stop migrant crime. I mean, John's going to do a lot, apparently. Safeguard elections, defend our always under siege Second Amendment. Should he decide to enter this race, John Wall has my complete and total endorsement. Run, John, run.
You know what John wouldn't do? John wouldn't, if he were to someday make it to Congress, and you know what he won't allow as lieutenant governor if he chooses to do this, and he has 2 hours and 16 minutes to decide, is he wouldn't allow or vote for or condone gender mutilation surgery, because when the rest of the men sat down, John is the one who stood up in libraries and read hideous passages, shameful passages in front of men who sat down and didn't actually want to hear what he had to say. But these books were in our libraries. So decide if that's the kind of person you want, because it'd be tremendous if he chose to run. But I will always be grateful for what he has done for children in Alabama and for families and for men who couldn't find the cojones to take a stand for nasty, vile crap in libraries. He did. And he's taken the hits for it. That alone, I hope, not just John, but maybe other people today will consider and decide to do it in the future. Those are the kind of people that we need to run for office, the ones that actually have a spine and know what's right, and they don't have to poll to find out if it's okay.
I'm guessing Montgomery was, I mean, we've heard rumors that he was going to run or was thinking about running. And again, he hasn't even qualified yet. I don't know how you don't run when Donald Trump comes out and says, run, John, run. But I'm guessing it caught Montgomery by surprise. And it would have been so great if he had been at the forum the other night. I think he would have added an interesting dynamic. He knows policy. He knows issues. He has had to work with the federal government. He's also the vice chairman of the Republican National Committee for the Southern District. So he knows a lot of DC. He knows a lot of Alabama. I think he has the track record, very conservative track record, to be a great counterpart to Tommy Tuberville. We'll see. I don't know what he's going to do. It's interesting, though, because we had the forum on Tuesday night, right?
Yes.
And then the next day, did y'all see the article that Mike Lindell's Lindell TV put out about Wes Allen?
I didn't read it, but I saw they put it up.
Oh, do tell.
So this is the next day. I'm trying to find it. Basically talking about that Wes Allen is a never Trumper, that he was the only one of the Alabama. Y'all remember when Trump came? We were down in Montgomery.
Yep.
Yeah, we did the radio show from there.
Yeah, we did.
When Trump came to Montgomery a few years ago, he was the only elected official that refused to endorse Trump. And I mean, it goes on. I mean, Lindell TV, written by Easton Martin, who I don't know, but it says Allen's refusal to endorse President Trump made him the odd man out among Alabama Republicans. Wes Allen was a never Trumper. This is a anonymous senior Trump campaign person saying this. Wes Allen was a never Trumper and very unhelpful. Jocelyn Benson, the Soros-funded Michigan Secretary of State, was more helpful in getting Trump on the ballot in Michigan than Wes was in Alabama. She could have put up a fight if she wanted to. Wes Allen should have been helpful. It was a no-brainer, but he was just a roadblock. I mean, it goes on to talk about his election issues and ES&S and how he allowed these machines. Kind of a damning article. You know, I don't know if it's true. I don't think he would put anything out that wasn't. Then again, on that front, here's the thing with Dean Odle. Dean Odle, if you remember, he ran for governor 4 years ago.
Yes.
And
as a Republican.
He ran in the primary, lost the Republican primary, but then registered as an independent and ran on the ballot, which is actually, you cannot, from my understanding, somebody call and correct me, but if you run against the Republican nominee, you are disqualified for running as a Republican for the next so many years. I think it might be 6 years or something. So I have a suspicion that after qualifying ends today and the steering committee meets, there's a strong chance Dean Odle gets kicked off the ballot because he ran as an independent.
Look, if it's a reason why certain people weren't able to run for office and they learned the rules that you can't do certain things if you give to certain parties, then rules, it cannot be rules for thee, but not for me. It can't be. So this will be an interesting next couple of days.
Yeah. That whole race just got bonkers.
It did. So we're staying tuned.
It's like Jerry Springer. Alabama version. Here for it. Let's take a break. When we come back, we still have a ton more news.
Yeah, we do.
So much is happening. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP, and still have so much news. We get to interview Brad Brandon. You're going to want to hear his story and his thoughts about what's going on in Minnesota, but also his ministry, which is across Nigeria. But before we get to any of that, or JP on sports, because it is Friday, JP, apparently we have some really good texts because we're coming up with names for Republicans that aren't. So what do you got?
Okay, well, Paul Bryan from Athens, he says that we should call them Reblufficans.
Oh,
I
get it.
I like it.
think.
I like
Because they
it.
bluff.
Yeah,
I like it.
Fake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bluffing.
Okay.
Okay, I like it. Reblufficans.
Michael from Madison says, call them a crescent roll instead of a biscuit since they keep rolling over on these issues.
Y'all are on fire today.
It's circle and circle. We never get a straight answer. Who are you? Circle.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Stephen from Athens is a little less subtle. He just says, call them sellouts.
Okay.
Brad from Athens says, stone is the opposite of biscuit.
Okay. I trust him.
So like a good,
He's
maybe
a wordsmith. A
like
stone. Okay.
If you're taking the ACT and it's like biscuit is to what as the I would not go to stone. But yeah, I don't want
Wait.
to eat a stone.
Is it not scones?
Scone.
Yeah. Right?
I thought you said stone.
He said
I
stone.
did, but I think he meant scone. Am I wrong?
Brad, do you mean scone, which are delicious, or stone? Let us know.
Well, the T is nowhere near the K on the T on the,
Yeah,
on the
I mean, I
keyboard.
think a scone.
Is SCONE.
Yeah, and a scone is like a biscuit.
Yeah, but it's like
No, it's just crunchy on the outside.
Unless you eat Highland Gourmet scones, and those are
Oh, they're
fabulous.
so good.
Oh.
we got a brand new texter who says name idea bean versus a biscuit.
A bean.
A bean.
bean.
Okay.
Yeah, that's worse.
Oh,
I
just
would
little-
not want to be a bean.
No.
There's
this
nothing
is
really
good.
redeeming about beans, and they cause lots of trouble.
Okay. Yes.
We do need a
Ask Chris Shaver.
wait, what? What happened with beans?
Beans. The musical fruit. That's all I'm going to say.
Beans, good for your heart.
Yeah. The
you-
more you
you
eat,
got-
the more you eat, the more you fart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got to come up with like a Alabama specific one too.
Okay.
So, like,
I'm not gonna say the one that
what?
just came to my mind.
What?
No. I
Yeah,
don't
They
know.
call Montgomery Goat Hill. We could just call them goats. But no, that's good. The greatest of all time. Okay, no.
The worst of
The
all times.
Rams.
The Woats.
The Woats.
I might get canceled for this one. McGumtards.
Oh, I say libtards all the time. But they're in DC.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
we'll keep thinking.
Yeah.
Those are
this-
good suggestions,
Yeah.
though.
Thanks, everybody.
The moral of the story is, though, pay attention, y'all. This is you're going to hear me say this between now and May 19th so many times. Do not believe the palm cards. That is not who they are. They're going to grab their shotgun and go stand in front of the church and talk about protecting life and crushing the woke mind virus. And then they get to Congress and they vote to chop off children's goods and promote DEI and abortions. That's who you vote for. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. We have been into the news today, deep in the weeds of all the things. But right now, there is something that we have the opportunity to do, and that is to talk to a man named Brad Brandon. He is the founder and CEO of Across Nigeria. For over 20 years, he served in pastoral ministry. For 10 years, he was a daily drive time radio talk show host for Salem Communications. We're going to talk about something he's recently done. He has articles published by the Daily Wire, the Washington Times, and the Christian Post. So we would love to welcome Brad Brandon. Brad, how are you?
Hey, all. Good to be on with you.
You said y'all. I'm impressed. I thought you were from Minnesota.
Well, I am, but my dad's from Tennessee, so I got
Go
a little mix of
Vols.
both.
Yeah, I grew up in Knoxville.
Okay. All right.
That's
I was supposed
fun.
to be in Knoxville tomorrow, but it got canceled because of the snowstorm, so I'll have to go next weekend.
Yeah.
It'll still be there and it'll look just the
It'll
same.
still
No
be
worries.
That's right. You're right.
So we would love to get your thoughts on a couple of things. Also talk about the article that you wrote with Tommy Tuberville. But thoughts on Minnesota, Sharia law in the United States. But first, because you are CEO of Across Nigeria, the kidnappings that have just happened. Could you tell us more about that? And then as that also relates to your ministry?
Yeah, so right now, most people realize now that northern Nigeria is the most dangerous place to be a Christian in the entire world. More Christians are killed in northern Nigeria than anywhere else in the world. Last year, if you took all the Christians that were killed throughout the world, 72% of them were killed in northern Nigeria. So we're talking 60,000 Christians since 2009, 3.5 million people in IDP camps, which are internally displaced persons camps, displaced by the violence, displaced by Boko Haram, displaced by ISWA, which is the ISIS of West Africa. Live in horrible conditions in the IDP camps, food shortages, clean water shortages, lack of medical care. I've been to thousands of IDP camps in northern northern Nigeria, and horrible conditions. So that's what it's like being there. I spend most of the year in northern Nigeria because that's where our ministry is across Nigeria. We help persecuted Christians, and we work to bring the gospel of Jesus Christ into Muslim communities throughout the region. So that's just kind of a snapshot about what we do.
So we're 165 Christians recently. I mean, among so many did that happen like yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, it did. It happened earlier this week. I think the final count number is 177, and 30 some have been rescued or returned as of now. But I'll tell you that these kidnappings are not unique in any way. They happen all the time. Even to these numbers, they happen. It's very common. Boko Haram and other terrorist groups throughout northern Nigeria kidnap. They'll even kidnap Muslims who hold their radical beliefs. But they usually target children from schools, and what they do is they sell the girls into slavery. And first they put all of the children up for ransom. So if their parents have enough money to, buy them back, sometimes they can buy them back. That's how a lot of terrorist groups raise funds. If most of the time, this is a part of the world where people make about $1 a day. So they don't have the money to buy their children out of these conditions. And the girls will get sold into slavery. You can imagine what happens to the girls from there. And the boys will get sent to re-education camps and become Boko Haram or ISWA soldiers. That's typically what happens.
You co-authored article with our Senator Tommy Tuberville
Yeah.
in December, talking about basically insight into the recent military strikes in Nigeria. Do you think that's going to become more common as things progress and don't seem to be getting any better? And give us some insight into how that went down and why.
Yeah, so I think that it should happen. It should continue to happen. The airstrikes were targeted at a new terrorist group in northern Nigeria called Lakurawa, which is a very fast growing, very popular group right now. That's why they were targeted. They're not the largest and they're not the most dangerous, but because of their popularity and the speed at which they're growing. Lakurawa means in Hausa, it means the recruiters. So they're experts at recruiting young men into their organization. So that was one of the reasons why they were targeted. I think there were 16 targets throughout northwest Nigeria, Sokoto. We have operations in that area. I think that they were generally effective in that it sent a message to Nigerian Christians. Finally, I've been working there for 10 years and I've been watching this genocide unfold for 10 years. The time that I've spent there, and it's gotten worse every single year. And really, the United States has ignored the issue. In fact, even President Biden, one of the first things he did when he took office was he took Nigeria off the country of particular concern list. And that year, there were about 6,000 Christians that were killed. So while thousands of Christians are being killed in this region, President Biden removes them from the country of particular concern list and basically takes the watch eyes off of northern Nigeria. So I think that the airstrikes were most effective in that it sent a message to the Nigerian Christians saying from the United States that we stand in solidarity with you. We're willing to act. We're willing to do something. We are your partners. Every Nigerian that I know and have talked to since the airstrikes is ecstatic about the idea that the United States is in their corner. They feel that way for the first time. This genocide's been going on for 15 years. I've been involved in it for 10 years. It's the first time I've seen Nigerians excited that the United States is getting involved.
So I have so many questions. First, really, so you've been there for 15 years. You spend a lot of the time in Nigeria. Where are you in Western Nigeria? It says West Africa, Northern Nigeria. Like, where do you stay? How do you, is safety? Do you have bodyguard? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so I have a compound in Abuja, just outside of Abuja, Nigeria, which is considered northern Nigeria. Most of our operations and our ministries, we operate 6 schools that cater to Fulani Muslims. Fulani Muslims are the violent Muslims in northern Nigeria. That's another ethnic group that's creating a lot of the problems. We go into their communities and, from our organization's philosophy, we show them the love of Christ. I believe that the Bible talks about the fruit of the Spirit, and it calls it fruit because fruit is the reproductive organ of a plant. So you cut open an apple and there's apple seeds inside. It's how the fruit reproduces. So we go into these areas and we bear the fruit of the Spirit, and hopefully we reproduce or plant the seeds of faith in the people around us. So we bring education, we bring medical care, we bring clean drinking water systems into the Fulani Muslim communities. Everywhere that we built a school, the violence has dropped measurably by about 60 to 70%, which shows us that the violence among Fulani Muslims, now this is different than Boko Haram and ISWA, but the violence that happens from the Fulani Muslims largely is a socioeconomic issue. They're drawn into radicalism because of the socioeconomic issues, not necessarily because of ideology. Although it's related, it is different. So our headquarters is in Abuja, Nigeria, and from there we launch out into our different ministries that we have throughout northern Nigeria. That goes from northwest Nigeria, north central Nigeria, and northeastern Nigeria. So anywhere in northern Nigeria is where we operate. Most of the areas that we operate are controlled by either Boko Haram or controlled by ISWA. So we operate inside of those territories.
Bringing this issue home a little bit, we watched what happened in Minnesota this past week and the protesters storming the church, starting to normalize in America Christians being persecuted in increasingly violent ways. What's your take on what's happening in Minnesota in general, and what does the American church need to do to shore up our continued free speech, free being able to participate in our religion that is just being squashed at every turn?
I think it was about a couple months ago, I wrote an article on the Daily Wire that connected the left's disdain for God and the rise of persecution here in the United States. So there's been a rise of persecution against anyone who holds Judeo-Christian values. Synagogues are being targeted, churches are being targeted, Jews are being targeted, Christians are being targeted. So anyone who holds traditional Judeo-Christian values is suffering a record amount of persecution right here in the United States. I'm not talking about overseas, northern Nigeria.
Right.
I mean, right here in the States. And so I think that the left's disdain for God really has created an environment that has given people a pass to persecute or make Christians or even Jewish people second-class citizens. It's the same exact thing that I've seen happen over the years in northern Nigeria. It's the same propaganda that took place to create this environment where Christians became second-class citizens. And so, it wasn't too long ago, let's not forget that a church in Minnesota was attacked by a gunman. And again, what do we find out? That attacker has leftist ideologies behind what they're doing. It's the same thing, although not by guns, but I still believe a church was assaulted by these protesters. A place that's supposed to be a safe place, a sanctuary where people can come and worship corporately and not have to worry about danger and being assaulted. And yet here it happens, right in Minnesota. We see the rise of that happening from East Coast to West Coast here in the U.S., and it's startling. And you ask the question, what should Christians be doing? Always look to Scripture, and what I see in Scripture is that when Christians were persecuted, it emboldened them in their faith. And the church actually grew in the book of Acts and in the New Testament under the intense persecution that they had. And I think that needs to be our response, is that the persecution that's happening to us here in the United States should embolden us in our faith. It validates what we're saying, because if what we were saying had no truth and no value whatsoever, then we would be left alone.
Yep.
They wouldn't be fighting us. It would just be like, oh, they're those crazy people, It's because we speak the truth and because there's value behind our message. That's why the left is trying to silence Christians.
Mm. Brad, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you can come back again for sharing your wisdom, for sharing your ministry. When we come back, we'll make sure that everybody knows where they can find more about you. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Great to be on with you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. Oh, y'all, I'm Amy Beth. She's Allison. He's JP. It's Friday. We are caffeinated. We've had kettle corn. Or was that kettle corn? I don't know.
You ate popcorn?
Yeah, before you were I made a snack mix.
Oh.
But we loved, also shocked to talk to Brad. I got to get his name right.
Brandon.
Well, I was going to second guess myself because who has a name that's that awesome? But it's Brad Brandon, who is CEO of Across Nigeria, talking about what's actually happening there. Because you remember a few weeks ago, the president of Nigeria said, there's no genocide happening here. And yet there is. Thousands upon thousands of Christians have been murdered and kidnapped. Men recruited into truly evil organizations so that they can become part of terrorist organizations. And so we're very thankful for Trump and the actions he took in December, but also for people making us aware of the horrors of what's happening there. But also, Allison asked him about what's happening in Minnesota and the persecution that's really happening to Christians across our country, because it feels so far away, but it's happening here. And so we have to be on our guard here, because there was a time when Nigerian Christians never thought that they would be persecuted. And maybe our persecution doesn't look like theirs.
Oh,
but it's real and it's happening here. Because like Brad said in his article that he wrote, I think for the Daily Wire, there is a hatred for God that leads progressives to do what they do against believers. And so we've got to make sure we do not unlink that hatred, because that is at the root and what motivates them. But we've got to be aware.
yeah. I when you say it might not get that bad here, we talked yesterday about the conservative that was spotted, on a sidewalk in Minnesota. They found him in a car and they're literally ripping him out of the car as the car is trying to flee. People are surrounding the car, beating on the car, breaking in the door, reaching through. The front window was open. I don't know why she didn't roll it up. But anyway, we're teetering there.
Yeah,
so I
you're
don't
right.
think it's that far off, honestly, if something doesn't change. And I hate it because the government is not the answer to everything, but it is. This is why the government exists, actually, to protect its people and to protect property. If that doesn't happen, we're screwed.
I'm sitting here thinking how far we've come, because you remember years ago, people would say, well, there's a war on Christmas and there's a war on Christians. To my shame, I'm like, y'all, come on. And yet those were also the same kinds of people who saw other things happening way before the rest of us did, because it starts little by little. They just dip their big toe into the water and suddenly we're in the deep end. And you're right. Who would have ever thought that would have happened in Minnesota, where they're trying to pull somebody out of a car?
Just for being a conservative, probably
Or that
Christian.
they looked like a conservative.
Yep. No, not me. Not in my... can I just go back to the 80s?
Yes, please.
When I thought the world was rainbows and the government cared about us.
Wait, you're kind of breaking some news to me right now. You tell me it's not.
Yeah, we'll fill you in during the break.
I'm kind of shocked right now.
We got more news. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. Allison Sinclair, do you have a question?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I've never understood that. So if we don't go in the kitchen, how are we going to make you food?
Well, he says, please, like to the listeners, to tell y'all to stop going into the kitchen because you keep making me food and I keep eating. That's
we
the
make
joke.
you sandwiches.
That's the
Oh.
joke off of the people that say that y'all should be in the kitchen. It's like, please stop telling them to get in the kitchen. I can't eat anymore. That's the joke.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was not that you're full. It was that you don't have any food
No.
because we're not in the kitchen.
No, it's because I'm full. Yeah. It's supposed to be a joke based off of that type of crowd. Yeah.
I was like, that doesn't make sense. But now it does.
Now it does.
Okay, so
Ha ha ha. I get it.
we are at this great place. I'll have to save this for later because we are at a very special place. Everybody's been waiting all week to hear JP on sports. JP on sports!
So, what?
I wanted to guess the names of all the girls that are in
Brandy.
that.
Mary Beth, Katie something,
Mary Catherine.
Mary Catherine,
Brinley.
Mary Ellis. Yeah.
Gosh.
I have the video
Cute little
somewhere.
darling girls. Okay,
So
what you got?
I got two stories for y'all today.
Okay, all right.
Two.
Okay.
One is technically state related because it's taking place in the state, but it's really an NCAA story. And then the second one is a state story. What?
This is so I've never seen you do this before.
So the first story involves Alabama basketball. I don't know if y'all have seen this story about
Yes, we have.
Charles Bediako, who was the center at Alabama when I was at Alabama, who declared for the draft in 2023, went undrafted, then signed to a G League team for 2 years, and now is back at Alabama. He is the second. He's at least the second. He may be the third of former NBA players that are going back to college because technically, if they don't sign an NBA contract and they're just in the G League, I guess they're claiming it's a loophole and they can come back to college. But here's first, Nate Oates had his first press conference today since the incident took place. And I'm just going to play real quick Nate Oates' comments on this whole situation.
First of all, the system's clearly broken, and I'm all for figuring out a way to fix it. But since the NCAA has already allowed professionals to play virtually every team we've played this year or will play as a former professional player on their roster, you tell me how I'm supposed to tell Charles and the team that we're not going to support them when he's been deemed legally eligible to play. So Charles is still within his 5-year window. He's 23 years old. He's pursuing his degree here at Alabama. We've got a roster spot open, so this is not taking any opportunities away from a high school recruit or anybody else. Charles shouldn't be punished for choosing to go the academic route out of high school rather than the professional route like the international players did.
So pretty much it's exactly what I was going to say about this whole situation of the system sucks and it's broken. But how do you expect people to be competitive if everybody else is doing it? You know, how do you expect schools to play within the system and be successful when the system is as broken as it is? It's, you know, you could be a principled guy and, you know, not do what everybody else is doing, but you'll just get crushed by teams that are doing it that way. So I don't have a problem. I agree. It should not be this way. The you know, NBA players should not be coming back to college, but at a certain point, how do you expect teams to be competitive if they're not playing within the same rules? Another interesting aspect of this. So the NCAA put out a statement and said that this was breaking the rules, should not be allowed. So then Bediako then said, okay, well, then I'll just sue you. And was given a temporary restraining order, which is why he's allowed to play. He'll be playing tomorrow night against Tennessee. There's another case coming up on Tuesday, so we'll see what happens from there. But it just shows how powerless the NCAA is because they're like, you can't do that. Okay, well, I'll just sue you and then win. And then now you really can't do anything about it. And the NCAA is claiming that Congress needs to act now to make it a federal law because the NCAA's hands are tied. But it's just a crazy situation. But the NCAA gets some cojones and does something actually with some teeth behind it, then how do you expect teams to not do it and still be competitive?
How did we? Oh, I didn't see your hand. Go.
No, you
I'm
go
sorry.
first. Go.
No, you go. You
No.
raised your hand properly and orderly. I didn't. I just blurted.
I just don't know what's wrong with this. I mean, if it's legal, how are you going to punish a guy for coming back and going back to school? I don't get that. And then you look at Carson Beck, who just told us he graduated 2 years ago. I don't understand.
What?
Yeah, he graduated from Georgia 2 years ago
Oh, wait. The one who said, I'm going to go into the draft.
and then didn't.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I don't. I guess, how old is he?
23.
I mean, look at what was Chris Winky played for Florida State.
He's
I think
probably
he
like
was like
50.
50 when he was still quarterback. I mean, I really don't see a problem with this.
It takes away from high school athletes, because if teams are so focused on bringing back pro players and transfer portal, then these high school athletes are out to dry. They're not going to have any spots coming up. And it takes away from what the NCAA should be. Once you leave and go pro, and then you get to play in the G League or whatever, and then come back, it's not how the NCAA should be. And it's technically, I guess, against the rules of the NCAA, they're claiming. But because it's not a federal law, then judges. And here's the other part of it, too. If you like, it's the same thing with Trinidad Chambliss, the Ole Miss quarterback who's trying to get another year. You filed the lawsuit where they are, which is within the city of the school. You think you're going to get an unbiased judgment? The judge who ruled for Bediako to play is a registered donor to the University of Alabama. He actually has given up donations up to $250,000 to the school.
You can't punish him for being a Bama fan.
But
can't
that's what I'm
assume
saying.
things.
No. But that's what I'm saying is that it's a no-win situation because it's against NCAA rules, but it's not a federal law. So a judge who's a bit biased maybe in that area is just going to reward the player. So it's a no-win situation. The NCAA is so powerless in this, but they're claiming the only way to fix this is an act of Congress. So
Did they really think when they threw out, let's start with the NIL and let it be the Wild Wild West without any sort of guidance that it wasn't going to end up this way? Because I agree with you. If it's legal and everybody's doing it, it's the same thing with Republicans. The Democrats do it to us when they get in power. And we're like, oh, we can't do that. That's not nice.
mm-hmm.
This is the same situation.
Right.
I mean, you guys, whoever's in charge of NIL, NCAA is powerless. They do whatever they're told. Like, for the love, could somebody, Nick Saban, come back, Tommy Tuberville, y'all get yourselves together and figure out how this should be run and do it, because everybody is suffering. And you're right. It does take away from high school athletes.
Yeah, but
It
the
just
transfer
does.
portal ruins high school athletes too. I mean,
Right.
the whole system.
It is a
stinks.
dumpster fire.
But he's not doing anything illegal. They just don't like it.
So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yep.
It's a crazy situation. We've also seen like Kentucky's coach Mark Pope claim that the NCAA should just keep us out of the March Madness. So it's
No,
yeah,
I did see that. Yeah, that's
it's a whole
stupid.
mess. But speaking of messes, by the way, segue into the next topic, state level, the AHSAA. Did y'all see what they did today?
Yes, I did.
So for those who don't know, the AHSAA, which has been in an ongoing battle with the KIV and the state about the Choose Act and kids being able to play private school using the Choose Act, there was a lawsuit, and temporarily the kids are now able to play. I believe there's an upcoming case to like finalize it, but it's a temporary restraining order that allows the kids to play in the Choose Act. Well, the AHSAA threw a fit and decided that, well, fine, we're just going to make, this is for football only. We're just going to make high school football separate, private and public starting next year, which is a complete and total mess. And actually, can I tell a story real quick? Because I think this story encapsulates it way better than I could even say it, because it's personal experience of why this is wrong and what high school kids are going to miss out on because of this. I was blessed to go to a private Christian school in high school, only because my mom coached there. We were not able to, go there without that being the case. But my junior year of football was the best athletic career and athletic year in terms of memories and fun and enjoyment of my life. Junior year of football. It was awesome. I was playing with my best friends. We were really good. But we were in a region full of public schools in North Alabama. And we were hated. in that region because we were the public schools or the private school, excuse me. And the country public schools actually had to play the whole rest of the season about midway through because I had cracked ribs off of a cheap shot blindside, guy digging his helmet in my ribs. But we were able to win through that. But there was another school in our region named Lauderdale County. Okay. I'm going to just say the school's name, which is in Rogersville, a public country school. And the whole year, every time, we kind of both knew that we were the two best in the region. And after every win, I remember we'd look up Lauderdale County. Oh, they won. Okay. Next week, the same thing. And we kind of knew. So the last game of the year was Lauderdale County at our place. And we kind of knew there wasn't an official region championship, but we knew whoever won that game was going to win the region pretty much. And it built all the way up to that point, and that's what it was. The end of the year, that was deciding who was going to win the region. All of the news, local news was at the game. AO.com had all their, butt munches with score predictions of Lauderdale County's going to win 48-20, 48-14. They're not the private school, they can't match up to the public school, and they're big old country boys. Actually, pregame when Lauderdale County was walking the field, they got their cleats and went to our logo and scuffed up our logo pregame. So it was building up to be this massive public-private school matchup to win the region pretty much. And it was a physical game. It was a neck-and-neck game. And we ended up winning 27-19. And it was the most fun and the most exciting thing I've been a part of in my athletic career because of that public-private school rivalry. And I think kids are going to miss out on that now because of this ruling. Because I know private school, there's a lot of, like we had a crosstown private school rivalry, which was, whatever, but it's just something about the public private school thing that's different. But here's also the part of it. So my high school, actually, their new region, they're going to have to go to Tuscaloosa to play a private school. They have to go to Auburn to play a private school. They're going to have to go to Florence to play a private school. There's no more local rivalry beef going on. It's cross state now because the AHSAA is just taking their ball and going home over, losing, I guess. And they're trying to, it's nothing else other than throwing a fit. And it breaks my heart that it's becoming like that. But I don't know. Does KIV need to sue the AHSA again to get this fixed? Or, does the legislature need to file something? But it's getting out of control. The AHSA feeling the need to involve themselves in everything because it's just taking away from kids and what they're going to enjoy. Because if this were to happen, I would not have had that great memory of beating Lauderdale County for the region championship. It just wouldn't have happened. So I hope the legislature, if anybody out there is listening, I know Will Ainsworth put out a thing today about it. So I know this got their attention, but it's not right. So I really hope they get it fixed.
They seem to look to screw kids up at every turn. The Hoover kid from a couple years ago who participated and represented our country, the coach that was involved was that soccer, I believe. And they're not a governmental organization. So how about we right quick create our own whatever organization and get that started and just kick the athletic association to the curb. They have a bias against private schools. I grew up at a private school. They do not like it. They put you in a different classification just to make sure that you can actually play. You usually have to play 2 up or 2 down. I can't remember which way. But I've lived with this my whole life, and they are not getting better. They're getting worse. So this is where I think for the sake of athletes and their future opportunities, the state, the legislature, our governor truly needs to do whatever is necessary to make this right. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And they need to be stopped. I don't care what it takes. I truly am wrecked for what they've done this time.
Don't mess with our athletics. Don't mess with our football. I mean, think about how much time kids put in these days. And it's like, the 3 square feet of authority. You just got to bully everybody around you that comes in your little square. Do we have any texts? Can we do those when we come back? You said maybe we have some more names for biscuits.
We do, but real quick, I do have to tell everybody
about
Inspire Advisors.
Forgot that.
Who is the weekly sponsor of JP on Sports. If y'all haven't heard of Paul Breyer and his team, at Inspire Advisors. Y'all need to check them out. Their website is moneypatternwealth.com. They have this thing called biblically responsible investing, where your portfolio can be in line with your Christian values. And you're not investing in companies that are pro-abortion, pro-LGBTQ marriage, and such. You need to just go check them out. Go to the website, moneypatternwealth.com. Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will get you right. So you need to go check them out today. And on that note, we'll be right back.
So I want to remind you, Inspire Advisors is one of our sponsors, and they are doing amazing work. Look, I know this audience. You're the kind of folks who believe in standing up for your principles. You're good stewards of what you have for resources. What if the companies you are investing in, though, don't reflect your values at all? Well, that's why you need to meet Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors. Inspire Advisors, experts in the field of biblically responsible investing. Look, they can help you grow your bottom line while also being proud of what companies you invest in. Inspire Advisors, you got to check them out. Here's their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. That's Inspire Advisors, www.moneypatternwealth.com, and tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth with Allison and JP. So we have done a lot today. Talked to Brad Brandon. We have had conversations about what's going on in DC, conversations about what's happening in Alabama, and there's still more to go. We have Clown World at 4:00, and we have Mo Brooks calling in at 4:30. You do not want to miss a minute of it. But before we do roll into the 4:00 hour, we have your texts. JP.
So we're continuing to try and find the name for these Republicans that, well, specifically for my Alabama delegation that continue to vote for stuff like they did, what was it, last night, about funding gender mutilation and such. There's been a couple of good ones, crescent rolls instead of biscuits because they constantly roll over. There's some other good ones, but here we got Jeremy from Madison suggesting bummer peeps.
Bummer peeps.
Bummer peeps.
Mutt bummer peeps.
Mutt bummer peeps.
Oh, from Montgomery.
Yeah, like
Oh,
mutt bummer peeps.
That's funny.
I get it. That's pretty good.
Chris from Starrett says, call them confusatorians.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Let's see. We also got Mark from Red Bay, anti-ruffian.
Oh,
That's good.
that's good.
I don't know. What was the one we were speculating? Trans.
Yeah, I said they're trannies, so we're gonna either call them trannikins or trannycrats.
Trannycrats.
I like
Yeah.
Because they're
trannycrats.
Democrats transing as Republicans.
Yep,
Yeah, it's good.
trannycrats.
We do need to do a spin off that. Like they're confused.
That's good.
Yeah, show us your true self.
Something's happening here. Yes.
Not like that, not physically.
No,
But-
no, 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 no.
Yeah,
no. Who are you?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I don't. To me, some of this is disqualifying. I'll be honest.
I agree.
I think you said that earlier, maybe. But
I don't know, but I don't know how you can be okay with what they're doing.
do you want to explain what happened to our listeners that just got in the car?
That's a great question. Just real quickly, there was a vote it was House Bill 7198, 48.
It was House Resolution.
Thank you.
HR 7148.
7148. And all the Democrats voted, and then 76 Republicans, among whom there were 3 from Alabama. They were approving earmarks in this resolution. And those earmarks included allowances for gender mutilation, abortion, DEI, and other pork spending. 3 from Alabama that said, yeah, sure, why not?
Strong, Rogers, and Adderholt. Worth mentioning the names of the 3, lest you assign it to the wrong person. Strong, Adderholt, Rogers. Don't forget it. Those 3 also voted for continuing to fund the National Endowment. National Endowment
For democracy.
for Democracy, which is just a bunch of gobbledygook. We'll be back on the other side.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP.
Just
So
half of one, JP.
What do you mean you're just half of
Anyway,
one?
okay.
Why? You don't want to talk about it?
no.
Okay.
Go on, Nabs. I'm going to eat my piece of candy.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get a candy at the next break. So 4:30, we have Mo Brooks calling in about his surprise run for State House.
Crazy.
I mean, things just got interesting. So, but it's Friday, and you guys know what that means. 4 o'clock on Friday is Clown World.
To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's very hard to describe what it means to be Somali and what it means to be American. But it's kind of like the bananas and rice. You know, people don't really see like, you know, it's
Today, Junior!
Attention, Target shoppers. 2 o'clock now, we're going to walk out as part of the Free America walkout. We walk away from fascism. We walk towards a free America. We fight for a future that belongs to all of us. Everybody in, nobody out. Everybody should walk out, including the workers.
What an idiot!
Listen, I'm a gun-toting Texan, right? So I own firearms, I'm licensed to carry, and I also care about agriculture. Way before I was running for the United States Senate, you know, I served on the Ag Committee. I'm the girl who's actually lived in rural Texas. I'm the girl that has actually driven farm equipment.
I don't believe you. Look, I stand proud and I stand tall. This is not a victory lap for me because it's not over. They're going to try again, and they're going to try again. And guess what? Here I am. Keep trying. That's not going to stop me from being a journalist. You're not going to diminish my voice. Go ahead, make me into the new Jimmy Kimmel if you want.
If you insist.
What's he referring to?
Don Lemon.
Yeah.
Like they tried to put me in jail. They failed. They're going to try to put me in jail again. Pretty much just daring the Trump administration to do that.
So they tried and...
Yeah, the DOJ brought charges and a judge refused to.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because yesterday there was no charges, right?
Well, the DOJ filed the charges. It was the judge that refused to follow through with them, I guess.
Okay. Bananas and rice. It's kind of like bananas and rice.
It's hard to describe.
Today, Junior.
Somali American. It's kind of like Do Somalians eat bananas with rice?
That's a great question. Let's look that up.
Because I've never heard that, and that would be, I mean, maybe she's saying it's a weird combination,
but it works.
Weird. What you do? Smash up the bananas.
Somalian bananas and rice are a cornerstone of Somali cuisine, featuring fragrant spiced basmati rice served alongside fresh and sweet bananas.
Okay, that actually might not be bad.
Rather than a side
love
dish,
rice.
the banana is eaten simultaneously with the savory rice and meat, often lamb or chicken, acting as a flavor enhancer and a staple in daily authentic meals.
I might be for it.
It sounds delicious.
Like some plantains and a little pork and some
Yeah,
rice.
just some yumminess. I mean, I'm for that, but not for the illegality of y'all being here and stealing money.
But
like billions of dollars.
It's like well, it is like bananas and rice. It's not just that, but
she's a spokesperson.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Did you see the guy's face behind her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, keep it together.
That was fantastic.
Keep it together.
But there is, and if somebody can find it, you need to text this to us. There's another video that somebody has compiled of a Somali woman at the airport being her bag was flagged by security. Because she had $300,000 cash or $800,000 cash. Can't remember. You touch it. I know my rights. I'm like, lady, you're not supposed to have this. And then another lady, a Somali, she parked her whatever car, Ferrari, outside of a daycare or some kind of school. Police came to take that car. She was very upset about that. I mean, guys, we've all had enough of your shenanigans. And I hope that more continues to stop you. But I equally hope more continues to stop people like Don Lemon from he's just an arrogant. I don't even know another word that I can actually say on the air is proper. But his arrogance is stunning.
He has to do this because he was so irrelevant. He was becoming, nobody thought about Don Lemon. I haven't thought about him in months, maybe longer. So, of course, he's going to keep up the stunt. I'll keep coming back and you'll keep trying. I still haven't listened to the clip. Do you have the clip of when you all kept talking about it? The interview of the guy outside of the church?
Oh.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and see if I still have it. And
what happened in that
exchange?
What
was so good about it was an older man who calmly answered Don's questions, who, when he was done, because Don started to badger him, is that fair?
Yeah.
Just turned and walked away and said, I'm done. And then just walked back inside. But Don Lemon sees a world that doesn't exist, which is why they can go protest it all. And this older gentleman, it was just a masterclass on how to answer, how when Don badgered him, he said, no, I'll finish. And he answered him, kept himself together. And then when he could see that Don Lemon wasn't going to go away, wasn't going to stop asking idiotic, foolish questions, he did what Greg Kokel calls it, I think it's blowing the roof off or a suicidal tactic, where you're done and you just walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was an outstanding way to handle. And if anybody wants to watch it, because it's going to happen to us eventually, they're not just going to stay in Minnesota, like we talked to Brad Brandon earlier, and like Allison has astutely pointed out, they're not going to just stay there. So we'd better be ready when that happens to us. But it wasn't like he was 78.
Yeah. He didn't have time for that.
No. I want to be like that.
Yeah.
Oh, what y'all think about the lady wanting to have a Target walkout, including the workers?
So,
well, I just looked it up. The Free America walkout. It's at women's. This is my worst nightmare. Womensmarch.com.
Ew.
Can you imagine anything worse?
Mm-mm.
It says the Free America walkout. 1 year into Trump's second regime, we face an escalating fascist threat, which is so gaslighting, so funny. Raids on our communities, troops occupying our cities, blah, 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 blah. On January 20th at 2 p.m. local time, we will walk out of work, school, and commerce. We will withhold our labor, our participation, and our consent. Okay. Obviously, they weren't very effective because nobody knew that they were walking out. There was no impact at 2 o'clock on January 20th.
Mm.
And all the Target workers were looking at her like she was a crazy woman. I mean, she is.
Yeah.
But that's the thing of like the liberals don't understand having a job and having to keep a job. I don't know what person was there trying to clock in, clock out, do their job, go about their day. You think any of them are going to be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to lose my job over walking out because of fascism that doesn't exist. They can't comprehend it.
Why would you listen to, like, she was a boomer. She was a white liberal. She was, maybe if she had been a little more charismatic,
mm-hmm.
Everybody waving one little sheet of paper. We're walking out now. Let's go. I mean, it was the lamest protest I've ever seen. I didn't see in the video anybody leaving with her.
No, I didn't either.
Heart.
But they think this is right. They think that this is going to have an impact. Meanwhile, we're being robbed blind.
Right.
I can't. Oh, we've talked about this a lot. It's a hatred for God, which also leads to a hatred for anything that resembles law and order. They hate it. And so then we see the tactics lived out. But Minnesotans, the ones that are in that kind of group that would do a walkout at Target.
But this is all over the country.
Yeah.
Las Vegas. I mean, it just goes on and on. Before we go to break, Jasmine Crockett is
Yeah.
a farmer.
Bless it.
So, which one is it, Jasmine? Are you a ghetto hood senator, or are you a gun, quote, in her own words, a gun touting Texan who works on the farm and comes home and has a good cooked meal and, you know, a nice dog waiting for her when she comes off the tractor? Which one is it?
But she's neither, right, Abs?
Isn't she from Oklahoma?
Yeah,
No.
she's neither.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
she also
she's-
is educated and knows how to speak.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
went to like a really
Oh, that's
expensive
right, in
private
St. Louis.
school. Yeah, and fancy, well-educated parents. And apparently, before she was running, she would talk like this, like
Mhm.
very proper. And I bet she drank a drink with a pinky out. And now she trying to be all the things. Don't mess with me.
Don't
Big-
mess with Texas.
Wait, what did she call Marjorie Taylor Greene? Built blonde, beach body. You remember that in the
Mm-mm.
okay?
I remember the fight. I can't remember what
Okay,
it was.
I'm finding it during the break. Big built body, bleach blonde. It was a bunch of bees.
You have 38 minutes to
God,
decide if you
I'm-
want to get to Hoover and run for office so that these nincompoops don't continue to run our country into the ground. That's all I say.
38 minutes.
That's all you got.
Right now, at this point, the furthest you're coming from is probably
Here.
Pelham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, can I run against Robert Adderholt if I wanted to? Is he what district is
No,
he?
you're not in his district.
Who?
Oh wait, actually, you don't
Oi,
have to
matey.
live in the district. For congressional seats, you don't have to live in the district.
All right. Well,
You can
y'all
run. You want to go?
y'all got to figure out the rest of the show. I'm headed out.
I don't know
Okay.
the buttons.
I don't either.
Sorry, this is important.
Do you? I mean, if you can hear me, anyone go
Please
Please.
run.
run.
By the way, Connor from Huntsville says, I guarantee you Jasmine's nails have never seen the dirt.
It's true. Ever. Unless she needed to fake like she planted a flower.
But she said she used a tractor anyway.
Real quick, before we go to break, can I look up a quick poll on Texas Senate right now to see how bad she's getting crushed? The New York Times latest poll. Let's see. Okay, well, she's winning in the Democratic primary. She's plus 13. I don't know if we have a full.
Her up against.
Yeah, I don't think we have any of those yet. Man, she's gonna get killed.
You probably want her to be the Democratic nominee because then she'll just get killed.
Hold on, I'm seeing a Crockett versus Paxton poll right now that has it tied.
No.
But
Really?
I'm also seeing a Crockett Cornyn one where Cornyn's up 48 to 43. Crockett versus Hunt is also 48 to 43.
This is no bueno.
If she wins the Texas Senate seat, man, where?
She's gonna look like Wanda Gavan
Yeah.
in the Senate. It's gonna be hysterical.
Gosh.
I'm thinking her and Katie Britt, like there's gonna be
Fights.
I can't wait.
Mm.
I'm going with Katie Britt.
I am too.
100%.
Mm.
All right, let's go to a break. We'll be back with one more segment and then Mo Brooks, who apparently is going back to the State House, or at least wants to. We'll be back.
Hey, my friends, Phil Williams here. You've heard me talk about Inspire Advisors, how Paul Breyer and his team at Inspire Advisors will help you grow your investment portfolio while also screening out the companies that don't stand for conservative Christian principles. Look, they are experts in what is known as biblically responsible investing, and they are now offering a limited opportunity for a free class on that BRI. Check out the class, register for free, their website, www.moneypatternwealth.com. It's godly, it's conservative, it's financial freedom, y'all, with Inspire Advisors at www.moneypatternwealth.com. Check them out. Tell them you heard about it on Rightside Radio.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. So right quick before we roll into our 4:30 interview with Mo Brooks, just a little bit of a story, guys. Did y'all know that Gavin Newsom went to the World Economic Forum?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know he was scheduled to make a speech?
Okay, wait. I think I know what you're saying now. Or maybe wrong. But yes, I did.
Okay. And did you know that it got canceled?
No.
But did you also know that he did have a little few-minute conversation on stage with somebody?
I saw that.
And he suggested that President Trump was just deeply unsettling, deeply troubling. Except Gavin, he didn't like being compared to Sparkle Pants and Ken or some such. He brought somebody through, one of his aides threw to him on stage a pair of red knee pads because he's insinuating that this is Trump's position. They were for Trump.
Yeah,
So the irony, because Trump is, I guess, whatever, and I don't even know what world leader. All I needed to see was the knee pads because he was saying that this is what Trump is in the world too. I don't know if it was Greenland. I don't know who it was for, but the idea that Gavin loser Newsom, and he is, his actions suggest so. He called Trump deeply unsettling, and then he brought knee pads for Trump because that's Trump's position, and I will allow you to use your imagination for what that means.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought he was offering them up to the other people there because they're bending the knee to Trump.
He said in his video, it whatever it was, the video I saw, I thought that he talked about Trump and he brought knee pads for Trump.
Okay, it is what I suspected, but I'm not going to go any further.
It is vile. And the more that he talks, the more I think, how can anyone think that this would be a contender for president for the Democrats in 2028?
I mean, you're going to the WEF, you're having to travel to Davos, and you actually have the wherewithal and the intention to think, oh, don't forget the knee pads.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get that. Is this kind of like bringing a hatchet to a forum?
Yeah.
This is his prop.
That was his prop. But
that was his prop.
They're probably from his suitcase. He was like, I'm taking these today.
And
I
he
can
had
buy
them
more.
signed. Did he not? He has them signed. I think he put his name on them.
There's actually Trump's logo on them.
I mean, it's disgusting.
What?
Yeah, because he was claiming that everybody else was doing something to Trump at the WF.
So he had to take the time and the energy and the money to put Trump's logo on him too.
Yeah.
Or logo, you mean like his autograph?
Signature. Mm-hmm. We'll show you in the break.
Yeah, I'll show you in the break.
Okay.
Y'all, please send Gavin Newsom back home and don't let him back out again.
I just saw he got kind of like smackdown on stage. Whoever the moderator was.
Oh, yeah. And his speech was canceled.
Called him a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to switch gears very quickly. We will be back with Mo Brooks.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio. I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Allison Sinclair and JP. And as promised, we are on the line with Congressman Mo Brooks, who apparently has some big news to share. Sir, how are you today?
I don't know. I'm doing well. I don't know if it's big news, but I am a candidate for Alabama House District 20, which covers about the same turf, a little bit of difference, with the House District 10 and House District 18 areas that I've been elected to on 4 different occasions.
Next to John Wall's Trump endorsement and Gerald Dial running at age 88, this was my shocker of the day. Who's going to do all your house projects now? Because you're not going to have time.
Well, you do what you can. Fortunately, it is just a very short 4-month campaign. A Democrat, from what I understand, may be running, but that really doesn't make a whole lot of difference in this district, because this is a district that has in the past overwhelmingly voted for candidates who hold conservative values. And I would anticipate the general election, whoever the Republican nominee is, will get somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 to 70%. I've had as high as 82% against a Democrat in that neck of the woods.
You're running against James Lomax. Is that correct? Is that the right name? Why does it not sound right?
Well, he's the person who, as far as I know, has qualified opposite me. I don't really prefer the phrase "I'm running against someone." I'm running for something, and that for something is the state legislature, where I think most people would agree I've ably served before.
In your statement today, you said during the Christmas holiday season and thereafter, 5 elected officials, that's noteworthy, Stan McDonald and others, have urged me to come out of retirement and fight for our state and its citizens again by running for the legislature and a House district voters preferred me over Katie Britt and in which I have averaged roughly 70% of the vote in 18 separate elections. Why do you think they're encouraging you to run? What's happening in the state house that the citizens aren't happy with?
Well, there are citizens who have conservative values that are not being properly represented. I can give you one example, and you're probably familiar with it, and that's the 2024 vote on House Bill 210 that effectively opened the Education Trust Fund Treasury to the financial assistance for illegal aliens who are American citizens but happen to be illegally residing in the state of Alabama. And that's money that's taken away from our own kids. And since that money is taken away from our own kids, it means that our own kids are having to pay higher tuition in order to offset the monies that these legislators who voted for House Bill 210 wanted to take away. Now, fortunately, House Bill 210 did not pass, but that doesn't change what these legislators wanted to do. And there were a good number of Republicans who unfortunately deferred to special interest political action committee desires to hire cheap foreign laborers rather than pay a living wage to our Alabama workers. And I find that kind of expenditure on behalf of Mexican citizens that is taken away from Alabama citizens abhorrent.
Are there other issues in the state that you want to target and fight for?
Oh, absolutely. I have served as a state legislator. I have served as a United States congressman. I've served as a district attorney and an assistant district attorney, once in Tuscaloosa. The other one is in Madison County. And I've been a county commissioner. I would submit that that gives me a tremendous amount of knowledge and insight about the workings of government at a variety of different levels. And as a part of that knowledge, I can bring to Montgomery an understanding as to how badly flawed the legislative processes are in Montgomery. I'll give you an example. Voter fraud. Gosh, there is more voter fraud on the 5th floor of the State House than probably anywhere else in the state of Alabama. And you may wonder, what the heck are you talking about? Well, we have voting machines on legislators' desks that they're all turned on or all turned off at the same time. And there is no key, there is no identification required, so anybody can vote anybody else's machine. And that happens on a very regular basis. By way of example, a friend of mine who is recorded as having voted for House Bill 210 to take taxpayer money away from our Alabama kids for their college educations and give it to Mexican citizens who are illegally here, he was recorded as voting yes. And he wasn't there. Somebody else voted his machine. And that's wrong. And we ought to stop it. In Congress, we don't allow that to happen. We have identification devices that are required so that when you go to a voter machine, it knows specifically who is voting with that ID card. So you can have lockouts on the desks that prevent illegal voting. A key that you can turn where the only owner of the key is a legislator to whom that desk is assigned. Or you can have an identification card that you put in a slot and the machine identifies, yep, that's the person who's supposed to be allowed to vote here. There are all sorts of things you can do along those lines. We've also got better processes that could be employed so that more power is distributed amongst the 105 House members rather than less. Right now, the power is coalesced in the House Speaker. And to some degree, whoever the House Speaker is has to be able to wield more influence than the members of the body as a whole, because that person is elected to be the leader, but he's not elected to be a dictator. And unfortunately, a lot of the power that, say, a congressman has in Washington is denied a member of the Alabama State Legislature. So that's one example of how we can improve the process. We can also do a whole lot more on border security than we're doing right now. There are ways that a state could pretty much handle, from an economic perspective, the illegal alien problem in the state of Alabama that is undercutting the wages of so many American and Alabama citizens. And it's an easy fix, but the legislature refuses to do it because, in effect, their positions are bought and paid for by the special interests that prefer to hire cheap foreign laborers rather than pay Americans a living wage. So there are a lot of things that can be done that are improvements. Now, will I be able to accomplish those goals? Well, there are 140 people in the legislature. All I can say is I'm going to do my part to make Alabama and the lives of our citizens better. And if the rest of Alabama wants to enjoy that better, much like we have in, say, my neck of the woods, which is Madison County, Limestone County, Morgan County, where we're prospering. If the rest of Alabama wants to prosper like us, then hopefully they will heed the advice of those of us who know what works.
We have a few more minutes. I want to quickly touch on a few issues. If you just, hopefully it's a quick answer. If not, you can expand. But where do you stand on gambling and a lottery in Alabama?
Well, I've got a track record. I opposed the statewide lottery because I do not believe it is a proper function of the state government to advertise and entice people to lose their money by gambling when that money could be better used to help take care of themselves or their families. Now, I'm not saying that if they want to gamble, they can't gamble. I also believe in freedom and liberty. But I don't think it's the state government's role to own that kind of process. The state government has other things that it should be managing. I also don't believe that it is the state government's role to set up smaller gambling enterprises that create a monopoly that creates, in effect, a lordship type of relationship, with the lordship being the owners of those gambling facilities, because they enjoy a monopoly. So there are lots of things that can be done with gambling to ensure that any choice that is given to the citizens of the state of Alabama is a good one, and far, far better than what I've seen emanate from the state of Alabama. And in that role, given the negatives associated with the bills that were before me when I was a state legislator, I voted no. I personally killed, by way of example, a gambling facility in my hometown by starting from scratch and organizing the opposition so that we could overcome the greed that was inspiring that monopoly in our community.
What about the state income tax or grocery tax? Would you support lowering or abolishing either of those?
Well, I am for lowering taxes any way I can, but I think the real fight is, heck, we'll be successful if we can just stop higher taxes from being passed. You know, every year you've got people who are feeding at the government trough who are demanding more money. And you've got to have legislators with a backbone of steel to keep that from happening. Already you can see the stage set for tax increases in 2027. Gosh, we got to have more money for food stamps. Gosh, we got to have more money for higher pay for this, that, or the other, or more benefits for this, that, or the other, or in some instances, more waste, or in some instances, diversion of monies from good programs to not so good programs. So we need people in Montgomery who have better judgment and will exercise that judgment in the context of knowledge of the limitations of people who are working for a living and struggling to make ends meet. And right now that's lacking in Montgomery.
Two more quick questions. There's a post-election audit bill that is in the chambers this session. Do you support it right now as it is? I think it's just one precinct per county. Do you support a post-election audit bill?
I do support post-election audits. Whether this one is as good as we can get, I don't know. I have not read this one, but it's an excellent idea. One of the best ways to catch and prevent voter fraud is first let people know they're going to be audited. And people don't like being audited if it means they're going to look bad. Okay, so that's the deterrence. But the second thing is to correct whatever problems there are with the elections process, and audits can help reveal what those problems are so that it doesn't happen again. And I should emphasize, maybe what I'm advocating is an audit program, all right, and that's what we need on the House floor so that people aren't illegally voting other people's machines.
There you
That's
go.
fraud of the worst example.
Last question, and then Amy Beth may have one more. I'm not sure. I want to know how you feel about school choice and fully funding the Choose Act and that school choice program in Alabama.
I have an extensive background in education matters as a public official at the legislative level, at the county commission level, and at the congressional level. My mom was a 25-year high school teacher. My wife was a math teacher in middle schools. My two daughters have education degrees and have taught in inner city Los Angeles or in Title I schools in South Carolina. So that's the four women in my life. And all of them have been teachers and educators. And they keep me very well briefed on these types of issues, albeit I, must be clear, my mom has since passed away. But she taught me a lot before she passed away. So I'm very familiar with education issues. On the grandchild side, I've got kids who have gone to public schools, kids who have homeschooled, and 6 kids right now who are in Madison Academy, which is a private Church of Christ school. So I've seen it from all perspectives, from within my family, and I would bring that to bear, but I definitely support the right of our citizens, our parents, to choose whether they want to have their kids educated in the private sector or in the governmental sector. And if the private sector can do it better or faster or cheaper, we have a fiduciary duties to taxpayers to make it happen.
Congressman, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you will call back again soon and keep us apprised on how the race is going.
Sure, at your convenience. Just let me know.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Huh. We got a lot in. That
Well,
was good.
Yeah.
Yep. We'll be right back with Would You Rather.
Welcome back to Rightside Radio, where my business partner is.
Sorry.
She's struggling. JP, before we go to our questions, which will not be Would You Rather, but we're using some lightning round questions today. You have a text.
Lisa from Huntsville just says, ladies and JP, just wanted to tell y'all to have a great whatever apocalyptic event awaits us this weekend. Stay safe and love you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Lisa, she's one of us.
She is.
I keep saying that. I don't know. We're going to have to go to Huntsville. Wait.
Lisa
right?
from Huntsville, yeah.
Yeah. And maybe do karaoke with Lisa. I bet
That'd be
she
fun.
likes karaoke.
That'd be fun.
We got about 2 minutes, so we got to do a quick lightning round here.
All right,
Okay.
I got you. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Dang it.
I'm
I lost
gonna
my
ask it.
questions.
What's your all-time favorite TV show?
Breaking Bad.
Oh, that's a good one. The Last Frontier.
What is that?
It just came out last year.
Never even heard of it.
Well, maybe, is that my all-time favorite, or did that just come to my mind?
If it just came to your mind, it's got to be it.
It's got to be it, or Dukes of Hazzard.
That's a good one.
I really like 24. Do you know what 24
I've
is?
heard of it,
With
never
Kiefer
seen it.
Sutherland. Okay. What's one thing you have to do every day that annoys you? Like brushing your teeth. You're like, oh, I have to do it, but I hate to do it.
I don't know. You go first, Amy Beth.
I already said it once today. Laundry.
You do that
Hate-
every day?
Well, I do it
Okay.
basically every day. Super annoying.
I'm gonna say I would have said eating earlier this week.
Yeah.
It is a nuisance to make time to eat, I
Oh
will
my-
say.
Mine's either making food, like thinking about a meal. It's really annoying. Or having to wash my face at night. It's like you just want to go to bed, but you got to take the makeup off. You don't have to deal with that. It's annoying.
How do you know? No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
So far, I don't know that about you.
Okay, Allison, now you got to go first
Oh.
and fast. What song title best describes your life?
It's so cliche, but I'm gonna go with Freebird, only because like live free or die. I have gone through a whole process in my life of being free of a lot of things and people, and so I'm just gonna go with Freebird.
JP?
I guess living on a prayer.
Really?
This
You
is-
and Wes Allen?
That's not a bad thing, but prayer, yeah. What about you, Amy Beth?
JP, are you going to believe me if I say living on a prayer?
No.
Are you
Okay,
serious?
okay.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay, quick, one more.
Okay.
Oh, you go.
If you were an animal, what kind would you be?
A cheetah.
I mean, I just want to be. This is so cliche. I just want to be like a little golden retriever. Yeah, everybody loves you, and you're fun, and you're
That's true.
carefree. Abs,
Hmm.
you want to do it on
Jaguar?
Monday?
A jaguar.
Y'all are.
I just want to run
We
fast.
can't hang out. Y'all would eat me.
We would.
Gosh,
It's a kill or be killed world.
I'm gonna think about this tonight. I've been having weird dreams. Wonder how all this comes out.
my
Abs and I are
word.
going to be chasing you in your dream.
Yeah.
You will surely die. Gotta go. See y'all Monday.
You're listening live